Okay, let's go for it. Now, I think one sentence before we start today is very important to understand for the concept of techno music. And I heard it from, I mentioned him last time, I think, Adam Neely. Adam Neely is an amazing YouTuber. Um I'll share him with all the links that I'll send you after class. Hamdan Mili. So his professor in music school told him what sentence that I relate to it very much, not only in regards to techno, but in music in general, but it's so much more true in techno music and similar music. Repetition legitimizes. Okay? So this entire music, it's not really about sounding nice or in key or diatonic. It's about kind of the overall texture and the repetition of the hypnotic pulse that we want to get. What kind of style and vibe and color of techno you are making? Is it more melodic, chill? Is it more like deep? Is it more hard, more rave, kind of like fast tempo, slower tempo? It's really up to you. But the main concept here is using or building yourself kind of a system where you can use maybe sequencers, which we'll talk about, or use things that are more for repetition. And we'll see a lot of those kind of examples. One of the most basic example for one is if I create a clip, I won't create, oh, let's do a clip here. I won't create one bar, I will create half a bar, okay, for example. Then maybe duplicate and do some variation. So we got to start thinking, unlike the other styles we talked about so far, in more of a loop, kind of smaller loop sequences manner that we just play them and then we bring them in and out. We can do effects, reverbs, all those type of things, okay? Nice. So very broad general genre term, but we'll go with the kind of the concepts that confine all the subgenres and talk about some sounds that characterize specific subgenres, okay? Sweet. So please let me know at any point if there's questions. We're just gonna dive right into it. I will give you the project at the end. There's a lot of different tools right here, but you also get them separated with just a folder that you can install each one individually, okay? Or you can open the project and save all the tools that I give you. Okay, sweet. We'll talk about the sidechain. Let's start of all with the kick, maybe one of the more fundamental things in dance music, especially in techno, and the BPM. BPM, up to you, what kind of style of techno you're going for. It can be anything from 120, could even go a bit slower, to even 150. The higher you go, the more heavier it will be considered, okay? So 150 will be very hard techno. And 120 can be very chill, kind of deep, minimal. So really up to you. Let's go in the middle, 135. Okay, so this is our BPM. Nice. Now, please let me know questions because I am going to show you the templates. But before the templates, which I'll show the kick selector, if we just want to load the kick very easily, I'm going to create a new MIDI track, load the drum rack, drag it on the MIDI track. Then I can load kicks here. There is a pack that I will give you a link to, and you can also download it directly from Ableton browser if you scroll on the way right here. It's called Punch and Tilt. And this one, Ableton is based in Germany. Their entire library for the history of Ableton as a software was more accommodating to techno. So you don't need any other sample packs, even though I will share some free ones with you. Everything in Ableton built-in library is for techno. Like I usually make like more R&B hip hop. I have to use sample packs, or now thanks to the new packs like Beat Tools maybe. But everything else, specifically the punch and tilt, is very friendly to techno. Okay, nice. So I can go here under samples, one shots, kick, and here I can just go even this. Okay, here the first kick. I'm gonna drag it in right here. And I can create a clip. Let's do just, we don't need much, right? Because we know we're gonna just loop it here. So usually I will do one bar, Command Shift M to create a clip, and I'll put a kick on every beat, okay? But just to emphasize how we don't really need this, because it's about sequencing, it's about looping very short segments and layering them together in all sorts of ways, I can just take this, right? Loop is already on right here. Let me crop the clip or consolidate. Nice. And now, oh, no, loop needs to be on. And now when I drag it, you see it's looping only one beat, but it doesn't matter. Let's go back here. Okay, just for the concept. Nice. So here we got, right? We already have that. Nice. So you can do that very easily. You can also just drag on an audio track. Directly on the track, you can drag the kick. And I'm going to hold Option, just copy it to every beat, highlight, Command D, and duplicate. Also fine. If you are using audio samples on the grid, on the arrangement view, like this, make sure that you go under the Preferences. Oh, they changed it to Settings, Preferences. And right here, under the Record Warp Launch tab, okay, we're going to turn off Create Fades on Clip Edges. We're going to turn it off. So especially if you're doing drums like this. If not, you can leave it on. If you're doing drums, you don't want to create a tiny fade in automatically to take away the transient or the punch of the drums. What I would recommend doing, and what we're going to do today, is using a thing like this kick selector. We talked about it in the past. You have one built in under drums. If you search Selector Kit, you will find it. And this type of drum racks or samplers allow you to load multiple kicks on one pad. So this you can already use this, but it's not really for techno. I'm sure there's some sounds here that we can use. But let's say the kick right here. Oh, the kick. Right here I have a pad, and I have this knob that I can switch between kicks and then switch between snares. So very useful to create drums with it, because you already have all your sounds loaded up, and then you just use these knobs to navigate and choose the right sound, and you can do it in context, which I'll show you, which is great. So you can create this with your own tracks. We made one specifically, if you remember, for the French house workshop. We made like a whole house one. But let's go back to ours, which you will get. So this one, if I open it up, it's a sampler. I can open up the zones. I can switch the kicks here. Right? Let me show you, for example. Let me duplicate this track. Okay, so here is the kick selector. I open up the device list, open up the zone, Command A to delete, to select all the clips and hit delete, load whatever kicks we want. Let's go to the built-in kicks right here. You can load up to 128 kicks. How many we have here? 155. I'll have to delete a few. Let's see. 125. That's good. I'm going to go to the Selector tab, the chain selector, right-click on one of the chains or the samples, and distribute ranges equally. That's it. This knob is already mapped. This selector is already mapped. You see that? To the macro right here, to the kick selector. This chain selector right here. So now I can... Okay, so I have endless kicks. So I did that, and you could do it with whatever samples you want. I did that with kicks from a sample pack. I found 101 free techno kicks. So now we have this right here. And let's say we play a note. Let's create a clip. Command-Shift-M. And this is just a kick, so you need to put it usually on C3, unless you want to repitch it. Okay, which is also very useful. But here we go. And let's... Nice, and now we can change that. And let's loop that. And let's turn this off. Okay, so you have a lot of kicks here. You can even automate this if you want to do some crazy stuff. Like, let's automate that. So every kick is a different kick. I mean, that's ridiculous, but... Okay, but again, I'm going to repeat it a lot today. Repetition legitimizes. So just start looping stuff, honestly. I'm going to summarize this entire class with one sentence. Start looping stuff shortly. Okay, so that's the kick selector. You do have a built-in drum bus here if you want, if you need like more. And I added even another drum bus right here just to emphasize the transients after we add the rumble. But the kick should be pretty simple. I would mention that classically in techno, they used old school drum machines, most notably the 909. And we have a few built in Ableton. You just search 909 under drums. And those are the classic techno sounds. Okay, they used all the drum machines, 808 as well. So they used a lot of the 808 as well, 707. Okay, these are all Roland, but there were other ones, Lindrum. So any drum machines, old school drum machines, there's a bunch of them built in Ableton. I think there's a whole pack called drum machines, if I'm not mistaken. Drum machines, okay? So you can download that and you have a bunch of drum machines here that we can absolutely use. I would say for more modern sound, just compress and distort them, which we'll use them, no problem. But again, we have that punch and tilt, which is maybe based on these, just so much more processed. So I'll mention that you can use a 909 kick, very classic, or you can use just the kick selector, okay? Awesome. Questions? Okay.
Yeah. A
Oh,
quick
go ahead,
question.
please. Yes, please, Ray,
Quick
what's
question.
up?
So with the kick selector, let's say if you saved it and then you have whatever 100 kicks, then you go through it and then you decided that maybe kick 80, 82 to 82, or like you would never use them and you want to delete them. Is there a way to kind of have kick 83 kind of move move over to fill in that empty space, those empty slots, I guess you can say?
Wait. So let's say I chose 82.
So let's say yeah, and then you're like, kick 82 I would never use it. I want to delete it.
Oh, you don't want? Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
got it. Yeah.
yeah.
So let's say
So
this entire chunk, I don't want it. I just, or
yeah,
even this, and this, I know I'm not gonna
yeah.
use them. I'm gonna delete them. And then I'm gonna go back to
Oh,
the
okay. So
selector tab and right click again and distribute ranges equally. That's it.
okay, dope.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can delete, and then now we can also select all the samples. We see we have 95 here. I can fill up to 128 samples. Okay, does anyone know why 128? Got to somehow to do with those drum machines, by the way.
Yeah.
Another thing happened in the 80s. Why 128? Does anyone know?
Because it's MIDI
MIDI.
numbers.
Exactly, and that's another thing that happened in the 80s, where all those manufacturers of the synthesizers and the sequencers and the drum machines came together and decided, hey, let's agree on a language, a protocol, that all our synthesizers, keyboard, sequencers can talk to each other. Thus, MIDI was born, and MIDI range of notes is 0 to 127. That's the range of velocity, that's the range of essentially MIDI values, okay, resolution. So that's why also 128, and that's how many samples you can also load into a drum rack. Although in a drum rack, you can load a drum rack inside of a drum rack, so that can be endless. But nonetheless, 128. Let's close the zone here. I'm going to close here. Yes, please.
I had a question as well. So when you did you inserted all your samples, do you repitch something within? I lost track over there.
You don't repitch anything, but in this specific case, I showed you before the selector kit. It's something that everyone can already check out. It's something that is built in and it's amazing. And I would recommend, if you have like specific styles or drum sounds that you use, make your own selector kit with your own sound. Same thing. I go to the kick, I open it up. Here I have the sampler, open the zone, and what we talked about. Okay. There's also, I made a video for BitLab for my old school, but I made a video, it's on YouTube, how to make your own selector kits. So you can check that out. In our case, it's only individual instrument. It's only a sampler. It's not inside of a drum rack. So the MIDI clip won't look like a drum rack MIDI clip. Here's a drum rack MIDI clip where we just see the sounds, the notes that have sounds loaded up onto them, right? This is just a regular MIDI clip because it's a sampler. So I can play the kick in whatever pitch I want, which can be useful. But it's just how it works. So if you want just the original pitch of the kick, just put it on C3, that's all. Okay, now let's choose a kick. Let's go choose a kick. Okay, maybe this. Nice, and you have a built-in drum bass here. Okay, that will change the texture as well. Nice. So that's the kick. We will also build in a second just a classic house influence techno rhythm with all the hats and percussion and stuff. But before that, something very popular in the last 15 years, I would say, probably late 90s even, is the use of what now they call rumble, okay, the techno rumble, which this is essentially sending the kick to a return track, although we can do it on the track as you see here, into a distorted, filtered reverb that is sidechained. Okay, and what this creates is this sorts of rumble under the kick that is adding to this fullness, a very dark vibe of fullness, but also to this hypnotic pulse. So I'm just going to turn it up and then we'll make our own. Okay, and every kick will. Okay, now let's turn this off. Let's where's our kick? This is fine. Let's create our own. First of all, we need something to kind of create this pulse. It can be a delay, for example. Let's load a delay here. I'm going to fold all of these. We don't need them right now. And let's focus on the delay. This is what's happening right now. Okay, which can be cool. Let's turn down the feedback. Let's turn off the filter. Nice. We can also unsynchronize the left and right delays. We have two separate delays. So I can put this on 8th note, and this is 3/16. Okay, I don't know if you hear it jumping from left to right, but hope so. Nice. And we can put it like, well, something here. Okay. You can also use the echo, because it might be even easier. You just use the echo. Echo, because the echo has a built-in reverb. No, you know what? We'll keep it simple so we can see the different stages. Okay, let's diffuse it, or what they call smearing, by just loading a reverb. Okay, a lot of times they distort this type of rumble kind of thing. You can use any type of distortion plugin or effect that you want. You can chain them together with more. Okay, and then they filter it, so you can use an EQ or filter. And there's, again, there's endless variations of this, but this is the main concept. You kind of make a pulse, you smear it, and then you distort it and filter it. Okay, next we're going to sidechain it, but we need to sidechain it to or our kick or a sidechain signal. So we'll have to talk about the sidechain signal in a second. Before that, I will take all of this and group it. So there's two ways of using it, or on a return track, which we'll use later, so I'll talk about that later, or directly on the track by grouping it into an audio effect track, Command G, or you can also select all the effects, right click, and group, Command G, or Control G. I'm going to open up the chain list. Here is our rumble. I'm going to create another chain, and this is our dry kick. Whoops, dry kick. So here we have, okay. Now we need to sidechain this to this. So first of all, let's load a compressor, which we already did. Let me delete that. But load a compressor just on the rumble, because we want the rumble to turn down or clear out the space for the dry kick, for the unaffected kick. So every time this plays, I want it to automatically turn down the volume of the rumble. So we put a compressor. Let me follow the effect so we can just see the compressor. We're going to put a compressor on the rumble. And by the way, you know I like the Ableton Live 8 compressor. I included that in the project and also as a separate folder, so you can just save it. But this is the compressor from Ableton Live 8. I think it's much cleaner. And sidechain. Turn on the sidechain. Let's select the kick. So right here, the kick selector, if we want to sidechain it to here, and we'll have to go with the